Jason Schreier released an article about the development of Silksong, and it's hilarious because for a game that's been in development for like 7 years, right, and became this sort of meme, you would think that it would be like a horror show behind the scenes, right? And then the article comes out, and they're basically like, no, we're just having fun, man. Like, we're just making a game, and it takes a while, and this is how we want to make it, and there's like three of us. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Alan.
And we want to welcome you back to GG Everybody, your ultimate pop culture podcast where we hit start on all things geek. From video games and comic books to tabletop RPGs, tech trends, and beyond, we're here to level up your fandom. Whether you're a console warrior, a dungeon master, or just someone who loves diving deep into geek culture, we've got something for you. Each episode, we tackle the biggest topics, hot takes, and hidden gems across your favorite fandoms. So grab your dice, charge your controllers, and get ready to geek out. And it's been a minute since we've geeked out together. I think it's been about 2 months. Or just after Magic Con, which was late June.
A little bit of a hiatus.
A little bit of a hiatus. We're busy. We got stuff going on. I mean, on my side of things, there was Comic Con, which was crazy, really awesome. Got to see a lot of really cool stuff. Got to chat with a few cool creators. You can see some of the coverage on our website, and then also with Comic Book Keepers, there's some additional content that's coming out, roundtable interviews that we did, and things like that. So that was all really cool. And this weekend is PAX. So PAX West is hurtling down the pike, and I am super excited. I can't wait to head
Is
out
there anything
there.
particular that you're like really looking forward to seeing at PAX West?
Well, we're going to get into a little bit, but I'm excited to get my hands on Silksong. So they are going to have a demo there
yeah.
at the Nintendo booth. So I'll be getting a quick look at it. I mean, again, it's not like you have to wait a long time, right? It's coming out on the 4th, but getting to try it out will be great. And then I'm always interested in checking out PAX Rising. So kind of the top 10 games that they are kind of spotlighting each and every year. And so I like to go around that area and kind of like, try them out, chat with the devs. So there's some pretty cool ones this year. Beat Down City Survivors, Draco and the Seven Scales, Hank Drowning on Dry Land, Rogue Eclipse. So there are, 10, I think it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, no, 12. 12 games that I'm really interested in kind of checking out. And then of course, hundreds of games, right? Like so many. I'm probably gonna walk around, I'm gonna see a game that I haven't even heard of before, didn't even get an email for, and I'm gonna pick up the controller, and probably gonna be like the coolest thing I've played it in like a long time. So that's what I love about PAX. It's just a cool place to discover awesome new games and connect with the devs as well. So that'll be pretty awesome. But what about you, Mr. Allen? How have things been in your neck of the woods? How's FC Club or football club or all the other stuff that you got going on?
Oh yeah. The EAFC now. I hate that they changed the name for FIFA. I get it, but like it's still annoying. But it's been going good. I've been playing that. So last year I kind of really got into card games, so like Balatro, Slay the Spire.
Right.
But towards the beginning of this year, I kind of like got off that and started playing other stuff like Death Stranding was a big one that sucked up a lot of my game time.
Right.
But then Jenny Garcia, aka Game Honest, got on Blue Sky and was like, "I'm loving Slay the Spire. I just defeated like the boss, basically like the end game boss, and that's something that always eluded me. Like I had a lot of fun with Slay the Spire, but I could never quite get past that boss." Which is part of why I ended up kind of like falling off of it and preferring Balatro.
Mm-hmm.
But like seeing her talk about it, I'm like, should I go back into Slay the Spire? And I did, and it sucked me right back in. and
Yeah.
this time I got him. I
Yeah?
got the boss.
Nice.
Yeah. So this Flavor Flav cosplayer, and I call him that because he has like this just huge clock around his neck.
Yeah.
um, so I and just having an absolute blast with that game because then I got on a roll. I beat it with the first one, it's like the fire character. I can't remember what the clash of the name is, but then I also beat him with the poison character. Then I beat him with the this guy with like these orbs where you can use elements like lightning and ice to fight the enemies. And then I also beat it with like this like sort of ninja style. I can't remember what the name or anything is, but like I beat the boss with all of the characters. It was like I did not expect at all because again, I struggle so hard with just the fire character, which is kind of like, in my opinion, the most straightforward and probably easiest to use character to beat the game. So I've been having a blast because now I can go in and do like daily challenges and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm back on my card game. Beyond.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been sucked back into that world. I, you know, I'm gonna be traveling, and so usually when I go, traveling, I like to, take my games with me. So Slay the Spire is definitely one that's a good one. Like when you're waiting at the airport, when you're on the plane. So tempted to pick that, pick it back up as well. Now that you're talking about it, there's another one too that the kind of funny guys have been talking about. The King is watching, which is like a
Yeah, yeah,
roguelike
yeah. I did. I
tower
think I
defense.
spotted Andy Cortez playing it for a little bit the other day, and it looks really interesting.
Yeah, so, like, I saw that and I'm like, yeah, I'm intrigued, but I'm curious, like, how well it runs on the Steam Deck, because if it's a lot of, like, clicking, like, if it's a lot of clicking and moving and stuff, then that might not be ideal with the touchpad, but, willing to
Yeah,
explore. I think it's
true,
like
true,
15
true.
bucks or something, but, um, yeah, so there's that, and then I am kinda going back through Hollow Knight again because Silksong's coming out, so I've been doing that, and I've got Death Stranding 2. I'm still kind of working through. I bought all the Final Fantasy games on my Switch because they were on sale, and I had gotten, back in during the Switch 2 pre-order debacle. I think I mentioned this. Target, their ship times were delayed significantly, right? And so a lot of people who pre-ordered their Switch 2 on Target, like they didn't get it on launch. They didn't even get it like a week later. They got it like 2, 3, 4 weeks later, right? And so, as a sort of mea culpa for it, Target gave everybody who pre-ordered their Switch 2 via Target a $50 eShop card. Um, and so I took that Nintendo $50 eShop card and I turned it into all of the Final Fantasy games because they were all like half off. So
Nice.
I now have 1 through 12 on my not including 11 obviously, but like I have all of them on my Switch. So I started playing through the classic Final Fantasy again. I'm almost done with that one. But yeah, I've loaded up some pretty fun stuff on my Switch to travel with, but I'm probably going to end up bringing both of them, like both my Switch and my Steam Deck, because I'm going to be at PAX and they're going to be like, oh, try out our game, like here's a Steam code, and I'll be like, oh sweet, and then I can just load it on there and dive into it. But
I
um
have a
yeah.
recommendation for you since you're looking for something to play on the go. And
Yes.
it's this little indie title. It's a rhythm action roguelite called Kill the Music. And it just came out like
Oh, okay.
4 days ago.
Okay, okay,
And it's $10, but right now it's 10% off. I mean 20% off. So it's eight
okay.
dollars.
$8.
Yeah, and it has a demo, so you can kind of see how it feels on the Steam Deck before fully committing.
Cool. Kill the music. Alright, I'll give that
Yes.
a try. Um, awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, again, whenever you're talking about Slay the Spire and stuff, that's what got me thinking about. I'm like, "Oh, I like games on the go." Um, but enough about all of that. That's what we've been kind of up to lately. That's what we've been playing. What have we been watching?
Oh, actually, before we move on,
Okay,
interesting update with my nephew. I think I was telling
okay,
you right before we started recording.
yes.
So like a couple of months ago, probably like a half a year ago, his Switch stopped working, and me and my brother were trying to fix it. We couldn't quite figure out. We think something is up with the charging port because I mean, like he's a kid. He's had this thing for a couple of years now, and with the way you like lift the switch from the dock and everything. Like it's inevitable that that port's going, but like that is the most pain in the butt thing to try to like DIY fix yourself because like just the way they designed the switch, that port is beneath a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So my brother was kind of like, I just don't want to deal with this right now. So he let him use his Xbox and he got him a Game Pass Ultimate subscription so he could have like as many games as he wanted because he bounces around a lot.
Sure.
And so like he was all into it. I thought like, okay, like this he's gonna be an Xbox kid. He's gonna be real sad when if Xbox stops making consoles.
Yeah.
But, because I mean, like, he would play it a lot. Like, he had a lot of play out of, Game Pass Ultimate. He loved the remote streaming. Like, if he'd come, here to visit my parents, his grandparents, like, he would have his iPad and he'd be remoting into his Xbox at home and everything. Um, and playing from the cloud as well. So I thought, like, he's all in on Xbox. There's no way. But then with the Switch 2 coming out, I bought the Switch 2 and I have the Switch 1, so I'm not really using the Switch 1 anymore. He's like, "Hey, how about you give me that Switch that you're not that you're not using?"
Uh-huh.
So I did, and like he dropped that Xbox so fast, like, and he
Really?
100% back in. Like when I gave it to him, he's like, "Okay, hang on, let me go get my." And he brought out like his whole thing of like his little carrying case with like all of his Switch games. Like over the years for Christmas and birthday presents, he's got quite a collection. And yeah, and he's just like, I'm gonna play this and this, and I'm gonna go back to this, and so like it's really cool to see him like go back to the Switch and like revisit Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey. I know, yeah, he went back and played. He put a lot of hours into that when he was younger. He put like 70 hours into Super Mario Odyssey. But yeah, so I was just a little surprised at how quickly he just was like, "No, forget the Xbox. I'm back all in on the Switch, basically."
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, it's again, it's the IP. It's like kind of the kids sort of gravitate towards it, right? And um, in terms of like a mobile platform and Xbox and the Game
That's
Pass, right?
huge.
Like,
Like
like
for him to
the
just like
ROG
get
Ally and
the
everything, like they're still working on trying to get that going. And are they ever going to be able to, kind of land the plane there? And I don't know if they will, if there's still like the limitations to what the mobile gaming experience is like compared to like a Switch, right? So
yeah, that's huge for him. Like he loves just kind of going in and out of his room, out into the living room, and he's just on his Switch the whole time. He doesn't have to change anything or switch anything. He just keeps on gaming, basically.
yeah, no, that's awesome. Um, cool. Okay, now what have we been watching? I admittedly I watched Shrinking on Apple TV with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel, and that was awesome. Um, and other than that, and then of course, like over the last month, like I saw Fantastic Four, I saw Superman 3 times, and I shared my thoughts on those. If you go to Comic Book Keepers, you can listen to our reviews and stuff. Long story short, I loved Superman. Fantastic Four was disappointing. So I was kind of bummed about that. Have you caught any of the big superhero movies in the last like month and a half?
Not really. I do have Superman digitally, so I will be watching that sooner rather than later. I mostly spent most of my time on TV, so I ended up finally finishing The Last of Us season 2. I had kind of like stopped with like 2 episodes left, so I kind of went
Hmm.
back and finally like watched those last 2 episodes. Did you get a chance to watch the second season or no?
Um, the second season of which show?
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. No, I have not watched the second season yet. I heard that also didn't really land with a lot of people.
I can see why, like, because yeah, I like most of it, but yeah, like I feel like because I haven't played the second game, so I'm just not sure how it really compares. But as like a TV show, yeah, like where they end again. I'm trying not to get spoilery here, but like it's really awkward. I feel for a TV show where I feel like the game just really probably lends itself a lot better. One of the things that I want to do soon here is go and play the second game to see how to basically compare and contrast how how they decided to tackle it. But I feel like that might have been the best way to go about it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch the last one. I'm here. I saw the trailer for the new Twisted Metal season as well. That looks super interesting. I haven't seen the first season of it yet, but I saw that, and I also saw the trailer for the new Fallout season. I need to
Ooh,
watch
yeah,
Fallout
that one's
2,
looking
and
good.
that also looks really cool. So I need to catch up on some video game TV, but I prioritized a show that my wife and I were kind of watching together, and so we need to jump into that. But yeah, I'm excited to dig into those. I've mainly been kind of like in the movie space. So
Yeah, another
um,
thing that I've been watching or that I finished actually was My Hero Academia Vigilantes, just like the spin-off of My Hero Academia.
mm,
And it starts off a bit slow. Like at first I was like, man, it's not quite hitting that sweet spot of like what My Hero Academia is, but with time it started to like really kind of find itself, and then towards sort of like episode I think it was 9, there's like a big reveal where you're like that felt very like My Hero Acad this is why I'm here to see this sort of thing happen. So I felt really happy with the ending. It starts off a bit slow. It kind of takes a bit to find its feet, but by the end of season 1, which is only 13 episodes long, it's
mm,
like okay, yeah, I'm in for this. But then like you realize like oh man, seasons 2 is until like next year. So like as it's getting starting to get good, it stops.
yeah, yeah. Uh, good times. All right. Let's dive into some of the things that have been moving and shaking in the gaming world, starting with the fact that Silksong is a real honest to goodness game that actually exists and is going to come out on September 4th. So, of course, it's interesting. I say, of course, it's interesting because like the more I've kind of listened to discourse around the announcement and kind of like the fever around Silksong, the more I realize like it's like the hype is like the meme, right? Like it has been all this time. Like every single show, it's like they'll announce they'll announce Silksong, and it's always like, Charlie Brown in the football. Um, and
Yeah,
then at the and then at opening night live, they Keeley said, "Hey, it's coming. Silksong's coming. Here's some footage, right? And Team Cherry is going to tell you when it's coming." He said it's coming this year for sure, and Team Cherry is going to tell you when it's coming in a couple days. And then everybody waited, and then it was like Thursday morning, I think, and then Team Cherry released a video. Amazing trailer, awesome, looks gorgeous, everything everybody wants, and then release date September 4th. But now it's going to be here. So, Jason Schreier released an article about, the development of Silksong, and it's hilarious because, for a game that's been in development for like 7 years, right? And became this sort of meme, you would think that it would be like a horror show behind the scenes, right?
yeah,
And the
yeah,
art
yeah.
and then the article comes out and they're basically like, no, we're just having fun, man. Like we're just making a game and it takes a while and this is how we want to make it and there's like 3 of us. Um so I thought that was really, I don't know if refreshing is the right word, but just kind of interesting that we're so used to games that have such a high profile release and so much attention, for everything behind the scenes to just sort of be a huge mess. And in this case, it's just like, no, we're taking our time. We're glad that people are excited about it and it's going to be out there in the world and we hope you all enjoy. And that's real, like they're unbothered by it. They're just completely unbothered by it, which is, it is really interesting. Have you played Hollow Knight and like where are you sort of in the orbit of like Silk Song hype?
I did play Hollow Knight, but I didn't beat it. I only played it for like I think maybe 2 or 3 hours, but like my brain didn't quite click with how you need to play that game. Like, you gotta
Mm,
it takes a good amount of skill to get past a certain point in the game. And I even tried to revisit it a couple times and I was like, it's not for me. I can see why people love it, but not for me. So since I didn't quite enjoy the first one, like I'm not too bothered by the second one coming out. I'm not like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out. I need to play it.
Yeah, and that's been a lot of people. I mean, I think Greg Miller at the over at Kind of Funny and a few other people who have been like, you know, I didn't really get into the game, right? Like Hollow Knight wasn't really my jam, and Silksong probably won't be my jam either. But like, it just it kind of takes a life of its own. Like it kind of takes on a life of its own. Um, just based on the hype, right? Like just like you have to respect and acknowledge like the presence of that game. It's kind of like, GTA 6, right? Like when GTA 6, when we have the date for like when it's actually coming out, there's not going to be a game that wants to land within like 6 weeks of it in either direction, right? Or
I mean, we
like,
technically do have a date with GTA 6. It's just like, will they actually not just delay it again?
yeah, that's true. We have a remind me, am I crazy? Do we have a date or do we have a month?
No, May 26th,
Oh, May 26th.
2026.
Oh, okay, okay. We do have a date. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, like so I'm sure people, people saw that as soon as it was announced, right? They were probably updating their development cycles and release dates and everything else, right? And so the same thing happened with Silksong, and it's crazy because the time frame. Some people were saying shadow drop, right? Some people were saying they're going to release the video and they're going to say out now, and you're going to look on the eShop, it's going to be there, and people are going to lose their shit. Um, but I didn't think it was going to shadow drop. But I also think that September 4th is kind of a little bit faster than even I was expecting. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit later in September or maybe early October. Um,
I thought they
so
were gonna
yeah.
stick to like the launch of the ROG Ally X because like they made
Oh,
such a
right.
big
Yeah.
deal about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That also could have happened, like, hey, it's bundled in or whatever, like, but yeah, so it came out, and it's a pretty tight turnaround, and so I have to imagine a lot of those indie games that were going to come out around that time now are like, ah, damn it, like now Silk Song's coming out, so we got to get out of the way. Um, but yeah, I think I played Hollow Knight for quite a bit of time. I love the world. I love, kind of getting through. I didn't beat it, so that's why I'm kind of going back to it because I want to go, kind of re-immerse myself in it and try to beat it. But so I really do enjoy it. The aesthetic is great, and of course, like just the combat, even though it does take a little bit of getting used to, like the pushback, like when you hit enemies, and like how you control like the height of your jump, and like everything has just a bit of like a bit more responsiveness maybe than you like kind of have to adjust to. But all in all, like I'm excited to kind of dig into it and try it again. I'm really interested to see how Silk Song kind of turns that on its head, or like in what ways Silk Song and Hornet will, the main character will control differently, because in the trailer, she's shown as being very acrobatic, right? Even in Hollow Knight when you fight her as a boss, right? Um, so I'm just curious how the movement, right, is going to incorporate itself into the game as well. So, um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for everybody who's been looking forward to Silk Song for years. But again, now it's going to be out, right? And so I'm curious: is it going to live up to the hype from a critical,
Yeah,
right? Or, does it only matter if folks who have been waiting for Silksong for 7 years really have fun with it, right? Like, even if it comes out and it's like 82 Metacritic, right? Or 75 Metacritic, if people who got Silksong, if they're all leaving like, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, user reviews, like, this is everything I wanted. Like, Team Cherry will be like, cool. Thanks, gang. Glad you enjoyed it. Right. So I just don't know. Um,
I was
I'm
surprised that they announced they had sold 15 million copies, which is like I did not expect that at all. So like I think that when it lands, it's gonna people be talking about it at least for a couple of days. Not like some other indie where it's like the day of and then it's kind of lost in the shuffle.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely gonna have an impact, and again, I think that's where, you know and they're not doing early review copies, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, nobody's got codes, so they're just gonna release it for everybody, I think, at the same time, and so, like, a week after, a week and a half after, we'll start getting more, I think, of the AAA, outlets that'll be sharing their thoughts on the game and everything, but yeah, I am very interested to see, how that shakes out and what the scores will end up looking like. So yeah, so that's Silk Song. I'm excited to dive into it. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype. Um, and if it doesn't, then you know we'll see. But I do think that ultimately Silk Song fans are gonna be eating good. So happy for them. Uh, Next up, something that is not as cool, which is the PS5 price increases. So we've seen this happen with the Switch, we saw it happen with the Xbox, and now the PlayStation 5 has had a price increase. So this is effective as of a few days ago now. They raised the MSRP on all PS5 models by roughly $50. So the standard PS5 is now 550, the digital edition is now 500, and the PS5 Pro is now 750 of God's own US dollars. So the challenging economic environment strikes again. Alan, what say ye?
It sucks. Like by this point in the life cycle, these all of these boxes should have gotten a price cut. Like the Switch itself never got, as far as I remember, like it never got a discount like at all, and it's only gone up in price too. Um, so yeah, it just sucks. And the thing is that you know, depending on someone's mood, it could go up again. And and you're not
Yeah.
getting more performance or anything like that. um I hope that maybe Sony can try to soften the blow by like packing in like games, like first
Mhm.
party games that they can offer up for new buyers to again just sort of soften the like, oh hey, yeah, we know it sucks, but here's a couple of games for free.
Yeah,
um
something to kinda take the sting off,
yeah,
right?
yeah. um and I worry definitely that it's gonna like price people out because like consoles were always supposed to be the more affordable option compared to like PC gaming. Although PC gaming is gonna get hit by all this stuff too. Like I mean, it kind of already has for a while now, but it'll just get everything will just get worse, and like the hobby will be less uh welcoming to new players or especially younger ones. Like parents are gonna want to spend what now is it four was it 4.99 for the digital now?
Yeah, for a digital PS5,
Yeah, like
$500, right?
that's your
Yeah.
entry level, right? And remember that console launched at 349. That was supposed to
Mhm.
be like their yeah, their entry point. Yeah, 349 I think psychologically is a lot easier to justify for buying for a kid than 499.
Yeah, yeah,
Um so it's just it's going to suck. And like
yeah.
I know that Daniel Ahmad at Jugie EX on Blue Sky. I think that's how I pronounce it.
Mhm.
He was like, yeah, like the Switch 2 is kind of be able to avoid it a little bit. But like the fact that they moved their manufacturing outside of China to like I think is mostly Vietnam now. And Vietnam got hit, I think, with like a 20 or 30% tariff too. So like it's
Mhm.
probably like, yeah, it's just a matter of time until the Switch 2 goes up in price too. Which is part of the reason why I jumped in so early on the Switch 2 this time around versus waiting. So
Yeah,
we'll
no,
see how
absolutely.
how that goes too.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I am also very glad that I grabbed my PS5 Pro. Like, even though I don't have, like, an OLED TV to really enjoy it just yet, like, I feel like I'll get a better deal on an OLED TV in, like, the next year than I would on a PS5. So, I'm glad I made the hardware upgrade and, I've kind of got all my hardware in place. Glad I got my Switch, um, and all that good stuff. So, um, yeah, it is crazy. I was telling my wife the other day because she's not usually like plugged into the video game news necessarily, but I was just kind of sharing how the prices were going up and like you said, in a traditional console life cycle, like this is extremely unusual. Like this is unprecedented that we're 5 years into the PS5's life cycle, like 5 years in, and the prices are going up. And they're not just going up because of the Pro, like they're going up on everything. Like that's insane. Like it would be one thing if I was like, okay, we're releasing the PS5 Pro and they just released it, however many months ago, and then like economic baloney is going on, so we're gonna bump that like premier box by $50, right? It's just there's a little bit of a bonus for people who jumped in on it early, right? Another kind of like boon for your early adopters or whatever. And but if you really want that box, and you pay the extra $50. But not just that, right? Like it's for everybody. It's for the parents who are like, oh, like I really want to get Tommy this new PS5. We're 5 years into the console already. It's like at this point, just wait for the next one, right? Like it's almost why like what other big titles are coming out that are going to drive the sale of it, right? Like GTA 6, right? I think I think GTA 6 is going to be the last major console mover, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Um and so, I'm glad I got it for you Ghost, I'm glad I have it already for Ghost of Yotei and like all of the other games that are coming out that I'm going to be really excited to play on my PS5 Pro. But there's it's really disincentivizing people from getting it right now. Like, like they will absolutely be waiting, and it's definitely going to show up on the holiday side of things too. Um, I hope, like you said, I hope that this means that there will be maybe some better bundles around Black Friday or Christmas time, or that we'll see some better deals there because that can definitely bring people in to buy if it's like, okay, I'm paying an extra $50 for the console, but they're bundling in two more games, right? Or, whatever the case might be, or an extra controller in a game or something. Um, so I'm hoping that those bundles might help take some of the sting off too.
And we're lucky here in the US because other parts of the world got sort of proportionally speaking bigger price spikes because they were trying to not like raise the price here. Because I think I can't remember who was it that said it, but like apparently, like consumers here are more price sensitive, so like
Mm.
they felt like they could get away with pushing the price higher in other regions. Um, so we'll see, because having these be more expensive globally also hurts the video game industry. Like it's just all shrinking, at least on console and PCs type. I think mobile, like your phones and stuff, will be fine because I think that's just a growing segment. Um, but yeah, like it's speaking of like, oh yeah, just wait for the next one. My sister in law was like, hey, I want that OLED Switch. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna go down in price. I'm like, it just went up in price. You're not. I was just get a Switch too. Just don't bother with the OLED.
Yeah, right. Like you're not gonna get a deal on it. You're gonna be paying extra. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Well, I think those are the main things I wanted to cover today. There are again, it's been a little bit, so thanks all for being patient with us and jumping in. Hopefully, we'll be able to get Aiden Mower on here again pretty soon. And if you're listening to this and you are an indie game dev or you're a content creator and you're just looking for a space where you can chat about what's going on in the geek sphere, then let us know and we're happy to have you on as a guest. So um, yeah, until next time, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Alan.
Keep gaming, everybody.
See ya.